Hello everyone, I'm Roberto Coscia. I'm a QA engineer. I worked for the past 6 years in companies such as Paramount, TikTok, and many others in different sectors such as the medical, the media, and the HR sector. In this video, I will show you the challenges that people that use cursor have. Do you want to reduce those challenges to the minimum and develop a full stack web application with the much ease possible? Then continue to watch this video. So, as you might have noticed from the previous video, we have a project. In a previous video, I was showing you a project I've done with Cursor. As you can see here, I actually developed further this project to become bigger than I even thought, and I ran this project. So what I did, just to recap, I used the chat and the composer and I wrote prompt in such a way that starting from a very, very small, minimal first task, I built on it until I built the first draft of the project and then continued on. I used the chat initially. I also used the composer, which is a more agentic way of building the application. I have built initially the cursor rule file, which you can find here in the setting. Click to the setting, and in the general, I updated the cursor rule with the information about the project. If you want to know more about how to build the cursor rules, please watch the other video that I made of cursor. By the way, I wanted just to show you that you can build the cursor rules, which is very important to run smoothly cursor and and the prompts correctly. And then I chose different models that I generally use. Generally use Claude 3.7 Sonnet. And in the features, I want just to remind you that you can go to the docs and you can set the documentation of the whatever programming language you're building the project with. And this is very important. Is the MPC server instead allow you to connect with services like browser use with other services, databases in a matter of few clicks. This is something that is really coming along recently in coding IDE such as Cursor, Windsurf, and others. So it's something we will definitely soon look after. But the main thing that I want to show is the project that I've been able to build with Cursor. So if we go here to the localhost, this is basically, I built a YouTube script generator where basically starting from a title to a SEO keyword I want to rank and created creator information, it creates basically a script. So I'm Francesco. I'm not Francesco. Let's see, and I generate the script. The script is generated by the DeepSeek R1 API, which I wanted to use for this project. And as you can see, I generate with AI the script that can be edited, copied. It generates the description, the YouTube tags, basically everything. And the camera now is not working because I'm recording this video, but it can also record the camera and change between two screen view. Here you will not see the webcam. All with cursor. Is this not cool? It's a very complex feature, especially this part. But I found some challenges. What are the challenges? Sometimes when you build the projects and you get to situation which are quite complex, like this one, when you have to switch views, which actually happens. But during the recording, I'm having the problem that which is not recorded successfully. So you might find yourself in a situation in which you go to cursor and you have again to chat with it, but it doesn't solve the problem. It rather creates a new one. This is the moment where that generally happen when the code base start to grow. As you can see here, the code base become quite big. And because of that, now it probably, one, cannot find the files necessarily. Two, every file is very big, some files are even 1000 rows. And three, the logic is complicated, tricketed. Even though it can find it, it might have difficulty to understand the larger context. So one advice I want to give you is first start building when you're building cursor to that first of all it is required the help of the developer because the developer basically need to solve situation that cursor can't solve and in this case there if I switch views and record that switching is not recording correctly so expertise will help you to solve that problem. Another thing is that even without expertise, if you just use vibe coding like I did most of it, you need to ensure while building that the files contain enough logic for it. I would try to make sure that every file is not more than 400, 500 rows. So divide in the application, make the application as modular as possible. And also, once you develop a bigger code base, consider to update the cursor rules. Make sure that the cursor or whatever coding IDE knows the structure, the changes of structure of your application. You need to help it somehow to understand this context better. While this might not totally help on fixing very complex problem where the code need to look at different files, it can help because when you have the logic, you are divided in different module, it will look at only to the necessary files. Instead, if you have one file with 1000 rows, another file, another 1000, etc., the context, the LLMs will not have views to all the context, will not be able to do that, and it will hallucinate. So this is something that I wanted to share with you. So consider to use development expertise to solve this problem when the application become very big, or to make, first of all, make an application very modular because if you are building, for example, in this case, a video editing recording situation, build it in a way that is separated from the YouTube script generator. Make it module every single part of it, like the view, the recording, the preview, make it all separate component subfolders because cursor will check optimally the files required to solve the video problem. So it's very important. This shows how very important is the scaffolding while building the project, especially now that we don't have some huge context window. And basically write code that files that are not longer than 500 rows, even shorter if possible. And that's it. I hope these advices can help you. On top of this, obviously, I want to also to tell you that you should write better prompt. For example, a situation in which you need to explain that the view recording is not showing the switching of the views when I click from one view to another, make sure to write this in the most clear way possible. Probably also write it and make it a rewrite prompt from ChatGPT separately, because if the message will not be clear, would be even more difficult to understand the LLM and to fix your problem. If you enjoy the video, consider to like, subscribe, and comment the video. I hope I provide you some value with this information, and I hope that you can you take care of this immediately when you start the project. Did you find the same issue that I'm mentioning? How are you solving this issue that I just mentioned? Please write in the comment. It will be very useful for me and also maybe very useful for others that are watching this to avoid these mistakes. Please consider to watch the video made on Cursor because it explains more in details how you can set up to really work optimally on Cursor. That's it from today. See you in the next video.